Einstein. Hey, Einstein, where's the doc, boy? Huh? Doc!
Marty! You made it!
Yeah!
Joe Hubbard's first experience with St. Vincent de Paul began when he was just a child and his family needed help. This relationship would lead to Joe becoming a member of the society at the young age of 18. For just a few minutes, let's borrow Marty McFly and Doc's time machine and go back with Joe as he recalls his last 60 years.
We're mainly working with Holy Angels Conference, and at a conference level we help many families with food, and we made all home visits, no matter if it's raining or snowing or bad weather. We went to the homes. Two men at that time, the conferences were mainly men, and we visited the homes with two individuals, and it was mainly food orders, utility bills, whatever the problems that they had, and we had a script that we would interview the families with. We also did visits for bringing new Catholics into the Catholic Church, and that was one of the main things of our Vincent de Paul was conversion of those who were out with no religion. So and then also we did lots of Christmas baskets. We organized with the tavern, who would collect the money, and we would do the baskets and the interviews. And so we did a lot of working with families, but it was mainly, you know, food or clothing or utility bills. That's where I spent most of my 20 years at a parish level.
Wait a minute, Doc. Are you telling me that you built a time machine? Out of a DeLorean?
The way I see it, if you're gonna build a time machine into a car, why not do it with some style? Besides, the stainless steel construction made the flux dispersal. Look out!
The next 20 years were event-filled ones for Joe. Societal norms were changing, and he was very community-minded and involved in advocating for the poor. He was instrumental in helping people and agencies throughout the diocese providing direct service.
And then I got involved in the council, and part of those 20 years were bringing women into the society. We moved from one store, one tragedy I say, to another, but we moved from a store on 8th and Broadway to a store on Collinsville Avenue, and we would have clothing drives at St. Augustine's in Belleville and bring 40 truckloads of clothes down there to St. Louis, and we survived mainly on rags. Someone gave us a funeral home called Sedlak Funeral Home, and we rented that out for income, and after the fire in '84, we moved to 3718 State, where we had a bigger soup kitchen and a bigger warehouse that was built on by Father Sensi, who left us some money in the estate. And we just survived.
The years are flashing by at lightning speed, and Joe is finding new challenges and adventures. The world is changing, and the organization is finding ways to adapt and bring help to those most in need. As president of the Society of St. Vincent de Paul, he hired an executive director, Pat Hogerby, to help the organization expand its charity, deal with subsequent growing pains, and reach out to be the face of Christ to the poor. During this time, new programs were started to provide direct service with an emphasis on social justice and systemic change.
And then, I guess the last 20 years, there was a young lady that came along by the name of Tricia, and she had a vision and a dream that we both encapsulated on, and that dream became a remodeled store, a remodeled soup kitchen. We opened a health center and several other things to try to help families to not only go to work, but to survive. The dream of the drop-in center was the last dream, and we were able to raise several $millions to have a fantastic plant at both the drop-in center, the health center, the store, and Cosgrove's kitchen.
The improvements made with the renovation made it possible for St. Vincent de Paul to reach out to so many more individuals from the entire Metro East and assist them in a truly dignified manner. However, it did not address one very critical issue: the growing number of vulnerable homeless. We served them during the day, but had to turn them away at night. With the benevolence and generosity of many concerned and committed individuals, the overnight drop-in center became a reality and safe haven for individuals and families. The drop-in center is a bridge to existing services already provided by St. Vincent de Paul at the outreach ministry next door, where people work at moving out of homeless to homebound.
So we were able to draw more people and help more people. And we had more people who were really broken and hurting and living in poverty and had many issues, mental health, drug abuse, or other issues that affected their lifestyle to bring them down. And today we have spent several $1 million trying to make the community around us a better place to live. This has been a wonderful 60 years for me. I would do it all over again. And I think it's very blessed to be a part of the Society of St. Vincent de Paul. You know, it's wonderful to be here and still be alive. And I know God has to have a part in it because I'm going to be 79 years old. I think it's beautiful to be able to serve God's people, and all we're trying to do is promote God's love. And sometimes it is hard to love the most broken and most bent and the most hurting people, because money and that doesn't really make a difference, but God's love and giving of your time, your talents, and your treasures are very important. So we're asking you to help us in any way you can to build our reserve fund so that there will be funds available in the coming years to do God's work and to keep the dream going of helping the poor, the broken, and the suffering. Sometimes all they need is to listen. Sometimes they need is a shower. Sometimes they need clothing. Sometimes they need a bus ticket. But at the bottom line is they're just looking for someone to say, I care, and I love, and I want to be a part of the dream of St. Vincent de Paul, helping those to help others. God bless you.
Hey, Doc, we better back up. We don't have enough road to get up to 88.
Roads? Well, we're going, we don't need roads.
We are now back to the future. Our journey has highlighted just a few of Joe Hubbard's hundreds of accomplishments with St. Vincent de Paul over the last 60 years and brought us nostalgic memories of the past. God has blessed us all with the presence, vitality, and spirit of Joe Hubbard. He is a testimony to the power of love, the love of Christ for all of us, and the love we have for one another. Now we face the challenge of the next Back to the Future, sustaining the good works and charity of St. Vincent de Paul.
Credit card to ride this train. It's strong and it's sudden and it's Can you feel it?